Top 3 fruits to flush, inflammation, and relieve kidney problems. Naturally. Have you ever felt that nagging tiredness that just won't go away? Noticed your ankles swelling by evening? Or left a doctor's appointment worried about your kidney numbers? You're not alone, and honestly, the amount of conflicting advice out there can make your head spin. Here's something most people miss. 3 everyday fruits can naturally support your kidneys and calm inflammation without turning your life upside down. In this video, I'm walking you through exactly which fruits work, why they matter for your kidneys, and how to use them in the simplest way possible. Let's get started. So let us start with a fruit that most people love, but almost nobody thinks of as medicine. And before you think, really watermelon? Just stay with me for a moment, because what this fruit quietly does inside your body is genuinely worth understanding. Your kidneys have one job they never get a day off from. They filter everything. Every sip you drink, every meal you eat, every bit of waste your body produces has to pass through them. And when inflammation builds up in the body, it is like asking your kidneys to do their job with a blocked drain. Things slow down, pressure builds, and over time your body starts sending you signals. That puffiness around your eyes in the morning, that heavy bloated feeling you cannot quite explain, that lower back discomfort that comes and goes without a clear reason. This is where watermelon steps in. Watermelon is made up of more than 90% water, which makes it one of the most naturally hydrating foods you can eat. But this is not just about hydration in the way people usually think about it. When you eat watermelon, that fluid does not just sit in your stomach. It moves through your system gently and steadily, supporting your kidneys in flushing out waste products and reducing the kind of internal buildup that quietly drives inflammation over time. Think of it like running clean water through a pipe that has been collecting residue. The flow improves, the pressure eases, and things start working the way they are supposed to again. Watermelon also contains a natural compound called citrulline. Now, you do not need to remember that word, but here is what matters. This compound supports healthy blood flow and helps relax the blood vessels around the kidneys. When blood moves more freely, the kidneys can filter more efficiently, and that reduced strain means less inflammation building up in the tissue surrounding them. There is also something worth knowing about lycopene, the natural pigment that gives watermelon its deep red color. This compound has well-recognized properties that help calm oxidative stress in the body, which is one of the hidden drivers of chronic inflammation. So every time you eat watermelon, you are not just hydrating. You are actively giving your body tools to quiet that internal fire. Now, the question most people ask at this point is, what about the sugar? It is a fair concern and an honest one. Watermelon does contain natural sugar, and that is something worth being aware of. But here is the reassuring part. The sugar content per reasonable serving is actually lower than many people assume, especially when you consider how much water makes up the fruit. The glycemic load, which is the real measure of how a food affects your blood sugar in a normal portion, is relatively mild for watermelon. That said, if you are managing diabetes, have been told your blood sugar needs careful monitoring, or you are already dealing with a diagnosed kidney condition, it is always worth having a conversation with your doctor before making any significant changes to what you eat. This applies to everything covered in this video, not just watermelon. For most people, though, 1 to 2 generous slices a day is a perfectly sensible and enjoyable amount. You can eat it fresh on its own, blend it into a simple drink with a squeeze of lime, or even cut it into cubes and keep a container in the fridge for easy snacking throughout the day. Simple, refreshing, and genuinely doing something good for your kidneys while you enjoy it. Before we move to the next fruit, I want to ask you something personal. Are you watching this because you have been feeling constantly tired, noticing swelling in your feet or ankles, or just have a gut feeling that your kidneys need some extra care right now? If that sounds like you, type yes in the comments below. If you are here because you want to stay ahead and protect your kidney health before problems start, type healing. I read every single comment, and I genuinely want to know where you are on this journey. And if you want to keep getting simple, natural strategies like this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because what is coming up next could be exactly what you have been looking for. Now, watermelon works beautifully at keeping things flowing and calm inside the body. But the next fruit works in a completely different way, targeting a specific kind of internal irritation that many people carry for years without ever realizing it is there. Cranberries. If someone asked you to name a fruit that supports kidney health, cranberries probably would not be the first thing that came to mind. Most people associate them with a sauce on the dinner table during the holidays, or that sharp, tart juice that sits at the back of the fridge and rarely gets finished. But once you understand what cranberries actually do inside your body, you will likely start looking at them very differently. Let us talk about what is really going on. Your kidneys and urinary tract are constantly exposed to bacteria, waste compounds, and low-level irritants that pass through them every single day. In a healthy system, the body manages this naturally without you ever noticing. But when that quiet irritation builds up over time, it creates a kind of chronic, low-grade stress on the kidneys. Not dramatic enough to send you to the doctor immediately, but persistent enough to slowly wear down the environment your kidneys need to function well. This is exactly where cranberries have something genuinely valuable to offer. Cranberries contain a group of natural compounds that make it significantly harder for harmful bacteria to stick to the walls of the urinary tract. Rather than killing bacteria directly the way an antibiotic would, cranberries essentially make the internal surfaces more slippery, so bacteria cannot grip, cannot settle, and cannot create the kind of ongoing irritation that quietly stresses your kidneys over time. What this means practically is that regular, modest amounts of cranberry can help maintain a cleaner, calmer internal environment, one where your kidneys are not constantly fighting background irritation alongside their normal workload. But here is where most people go wrong, and it is an important distinction. Not all cranberry products are created equal, and some of the most widely available ones actually do more harm than good for kidney health. The cranberry juice sitting on the shelf in most supermarkets is almost always loaded with added sugar, sometimes containing as much sugar per glass as a fizzy drink. That level of sugar creates its own inflammatory burden on the body, which completely cancels out the benefit you are trying to get from the cranberry in the first place. What you are looking for is either whole cranberries, frozen cranberries, or a pure, unsweetened cranberry juice with no added sugar. These are the forms that carry the natural compounds your kidneys actually benefit from, without the hidden ingredients that work against you. Dried cranberries are popular and easy to find, but most versions are heavily sweetened during the drying process. If dried cranberries are your preferred option, check the label carefully and look specifically for ones with no added sugar or as little as possible. Now, a gentle but important note for anyone taking a blood-thinning medication. Cranberries can interact with certain medications of this type, so if that applies to you, please check with your doctor before adding cranberries regularly to your diet. This is not a reason to avoid them entirely. It is simply a reason to have a quick conversation first, so you can enjoy them safely and confidently. For everyone else, adding cranberries to your routine does not need to be complicated at all. A small handful of frozen cranberries blended into a morning smoothie works beautifully. A glass of pure, unsweetened cranberry juice diluted with water is another easy option. You can also stir whole cranberries into porridge or mix them into a simple fruit bowl to make them more enjoyable without any fuss. Consistency matters far more than quantity here. Small amounts taken regularly over time will always do more for your kidneys than large amounts taken occasionally. Now we have covered a fruit that refreshes and flushes, and a fruit that calms and protects. But the third fruit on this list is one that most people genuinely do not see coming. It is usually thought of as a holiday treat or a pizza topping rather than a serious health food, but what it does for inflammation in the body is something you will want to know about. Pineapple. Most people enjoy pineapple the way they enjoy a sunny day, occasionally, gratefully, and without thinking too much about it. It shows up on a fruit platter at a gathering, gets tossed into a smoothie every now and then, or appears as a topping that somehow always starts a debate. But almost nobody thinks of pineapple as something that could genuinely make a difference to their kidney health. That is about to change. Because tucked inside every slice of fresh pineapple is a natural enzyme that has been quietly studied and respected in the world of natural health for a very long time. It is called bromelain, and while the name is not important, what it does inside your body absolutely is. Here is the thing about inflammation that most people do not fully appreciate. The kind of inflammation that causes real long-term damage is rarely dramatic. It does not always announce itself with sharp pain or obvious swelling. Instead, it sits quietly in the background month after month, sometimes year after year, creating a slow and steady burden on the organs that have to keep working through it. Your kidneys are among the organs that feel this burden most directly because their job requires constant, precise filtering, and chronic background inflammation makes that job significantly harder over time. Bromelain works by helping to interrupt that cycle. It supports the body's natural process of calming inflammatory responses, not in a forceful or artificial way, but in a gentle and cooperative way that works with your body rather than against it. When that background inflammation begins to ease, even gradually, the kidneys experience less resistance in doing their job. Things flow more freely. The body feels lighter. And over time, that consistent reduction in inflammatory burden can make a meaningful difference to how your kidneys function day to day. But pineapple does not stop there. It also supports healthy digestion. And this connection to kidney health is one that often surprises people. When digestion is sluggish or imbalanced, waste products that should be processed and eliminated efficiently can linger in the body longer than they should. That lingering creates additional work for the kidneys, which then have to compensate for what the digestive system has not fully dealt with. Pineapple helps keep that digestive process moving smoothly, which indirectly reduces the burden landing on your kidneys with every passing day. Pineapple also contributes to a more balanced immune response, and since chronic inflammation is closely tied to immune system activity, anything that helps keep that balance steady is working in your kidneys' favor at the same time. Now here is the practical guidance you need when you are standing in the shop trying to make the right choice. Fresh pineapple is always your best option. It retains the full natural enzyme content and comes without any additives or preservatives. Frozen pineapple is a genuinely good second choice, widely available and easy to keep on hand for smoothies or quick snacks. Canned pineapple is where you need to pause and read the label carefully. Many canned versions are packed in heavy syrup, which carries a significant amount of added sugar. That sugar creates exactly the kind of metabolic stress you are trying to move away from. If canned is your only practical option, look specifically for varieties packed in their own natural juice with no added sugar, and drain them well before eating. One more honest note worth sharing. If you have a history of kidney stones, particularly a specific type related to oxalate, or if you are managing a digestive condition, it is worth checking with your doctor about how much pineapple suits your individual situation. For most people enjoying pineapple in regular, sensible amounts, it is a genuinely wonderful addition to a kidney-friendly way of eating. A few practical ways to bring it into your week without any effort at all. Add 2 or 3 chunks of fresh pineapple to a morning smoothie alongside some ginger for an extra anti-inflammatory boost. Keep a small container of fresh pineapple pieces in the fridge for an easy afternoon snack. Stir some frozen pineapple into porridge or yogurt in the morning for a simple and satisfying start to the day. You do not need large amounts. You do not need it every single day without fail. You just need to make it a regular, enjoyable part of your weekly routine and let it do its quiet, steady work in the background. If you are learning something today that you genuinely wish someone had told you sooner, please take just a moment to hit that like button. That one small action, tells the platform that this kind of honest, practical health content matters, and it helps push this video in front of someone else who might be dealing with swollen legs, constant fatigue, or quiet kidney discomfort, and has been searching for real answers without knowing where to turn. Your like is not just a button. It is a way of saying this information deserves to be seen, and it could genuinely change someone else's health journey today. Small steps taken regularly create real change. That's the foundation of sustainable kidney health. So let us take a moment to bring everything together, not in a way that repeats what you have already heard, but in a way that helps it settle and stick. Cranberries work by creating a calmer, cleaner internal environment, making it harder for irritation to take hold and build up around the very organs responsible for filtering everything you consume. And pineapple brings something different again. A natural enzyme that helps interrupt the cycle of chronic low-level inflammation, while also supporting the digestion and immune balance that your kidneys quietly depend on every single day. 3 fruits, 3 different approaches, all of them working in the same direction. And here is what matters most about everything you have learned today. You do not need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to eat all 3 of these fruits every single day without exception to start seeing a difference. What your kidneys respond to most is not dramatic action taken once. It is gentle, consistent support given regularly over time. Think about it this way. A simple weekly rhythm where watermelon appears a few times as a refreshing snack, where a small amount of pure cranberry is worked into a morning drink or a bowl of food, and where pineapple shows up 2 or 3 times throughout the week as part of a meal or smoothie. That kind of quiet consistency is worth far more than any short burst of effort that fades after a few days. Small and steady is what actually works. And the good news is that these are genuinely enjoyable foods. This does not have to feel like discipline. It can feel like something you look forward to. Now, before we close, there is something important that needs to be said, and it comes from a place of genuine care rather than caution for its own sake. If you are already managing a kidney condition, if you have been told your kidney function is reduced, or if you are taking regular medication for any ongoing health concern, please speak with your doctor before making changes to your diet based on what you have learned here. Not because this information is not valuable, but because your individual situation deserves individual guidance. What works well for most people may need to be adjusted for your specific circumstances, and your doctor is the right person to help you make that call with confidence. You deserve care that is personalized to you, not just general advice applied without thought. And while food is a powerful place to start, it is worth remembering that it is one part of a larger picture. Drinking enough water through the day, getting consistent and restful sleep, and finding small ways to reduce the daily stress that so many people carry without acknowledging, all of these things work alongside what you eat to support your kidneys in a way that lasts. Your body is not asking for perfection. It is asking for attention. It is asking for consistency. And it is asking you to start even if that start is small. Every good choice you make today is doing something, even when you cannot feel it, even when the results are not immediate. The quiet work happening inside your body right now matters, and so does the effort you are putting into understanding it. If this video has given you something genuinely useful today, something you will actually carry with you and use, please hit the like button right now. That one action helps this information travel further and reach someone else who is quietly struggling and has no idea that answers like these even exist. If someone in your life is dealing with kidney concerns, unexplained tiredness, or that persistent swelling that never quite goes away, share this video with them today. You do not need to say a word. Just send it. Because the right information at the right moment can genuinely change the direction someone's health is heading. Leave a comment below and tell me which of these 3 fruits you are going to start with. Or, if you have already been using any of them and noticed a difference, I would genuinely love to hear about it. Your experience might be exactly what someone else reading the comments needs to hear today. And if you want to keep receiving honest, practical, natural health guidance that respects your intelligence and actually helps you make better decisions for your body, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss what comes next. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It is not optional. It is the foundation that everything else in your life is built on. And you showed up today. That already means something.